Let's say we have the equation ax plus by is equal to c. Insofar as it is non-trivial, we get a line L. If we plot it on the Cartesian xy coordinate plane, we get a nice line. And in this video, we're going to prove that the line is horizontal if and only if a is equal to 0. So note that IFF stands for if and only if. Or in other words, it is a biconditional. And when we're proving a biconditional, we have to go, so to speak, both ways. That is, we have to prove that if the line is horizontal, then a is equal to 0. And we have to prove if a is equal to 0, then the line is horizontal. So on the one hand, if a is equal to 0, what does that imply? It implies that then y is equal to c over b, ergo it's horizontal. Now why would that be? Well, consider we have ax plus by is equal to c. If a is equal to 0, then we have 0 times x plus by is equal to c. So by is equal to c, solve for y is equal to c over b, and we get something that is horizontal. If y is equal to some number, like 4 or 5, we have a horizontal line. And so on the Cartesian coordinate plane, with the x-axis, the y-axis, we get something like this, where y is equal to c over b. But then we have to prove the converse of that. In other words, if the line is horizontal, then a is equal to 0. So we have to prove that. We'll note that the slope then must be 0 because we have that horizontal line. So in ax plus by is equal to c, a will equal 0. Consider, for example, if we have a horizontal line, consider 2 points on that line, such as x sub 1 comma y and x sub 2 comma y. So here's one point, here's another point. They're going to have the same exact y coordinate because they're on the same exact horizontal line. So we have something like this. So here's a point, here's x sub 1, here's x sub 2, but the y coordinate, of course, is going to be the exact same thing. So then we can think of this, so to speak, as a 2 by 2 system of equations. So we have on the one hand a x sub 1 plus b y equals c. We have a times x sub 2 plus by is equal to c. We can solve, for example, y in the second equation. So y is equal to negative a x sub 2 plus c over b. And then we can plug that into the second equation and spit out the result. And so we get a times x sub 1 plus b times the quantity, negative ax sub 2 plus c over b is equal to c. Notice that b is over 1, so the b's drop out there. So then we get a times x sub 1 minus ax sub 2 plus c is equal to c. Well, the c's drop out. We can factor out that a, so a times the quantity x sub 1 minus x sub 2 is equal to 0. So a is equal to 0 over x sub 1 minus x sub 2, where x sub 1 does not equal x sub 2. So therefore, a is equal to 0. So this definitely equal to 0, and we proved this both ways. So on the one hand, it is the case that If a is equal to 0, then we get y is equal to c over b, and that's horizontal. And also, if the line is horizontal, then a is equal to 0. So we approved our statement that the line is horizontal if and only if a is equal to 0. Good luck to you, and be well.